A few weeks ago, I did a video, and several people resorted to what I call armoring. Now, you might have heard me talk about armoring before, so let me explain it. Sometimes when we are feeling insecure, let's say, about ourselves, and we don't want people looking at us and judging us and pointing fingers or calling out our behavior, we might armor ourselves. And we protect ourselves, we armor ourselves by pointing fingers at other people. If other people are looking at the mistakes and possibly judging what someone else has done, it takes the attention off of us. So that way people aren't looking at us saying, you kind of messed up there, didn't you? You made a mistake. You made an error in judgment. Your morals are off, or you should not have done that, or whatever it is that they're trying to say. You know, I'm holier than thou, you going to hell. Whatever kind of way they want to put it, they're judging you. And you might not even have been judged yet. Maybe they haven't even had that in their mind. But for some reason, you might feel guilty, or that you're going to be judged, or that these people aren't going to understand the reasons or the motives behind your actions. And so in order to protect yourself, you armor yourself. And you take the attention off yourself by saying, you know, that person, they're bad. They're doing something that they shouldn't do. They're hurting other people. They're being a narcissist. They're being a bully. They're hurting children. Whatever it is that you feel as though you can throw stones about, so to speak, you do that in an effort to protect yourself. It's not pure. It's not really about saying, you know, this person has been through hell. I have sympathy for them. Yeah, they made mistakes. Let's not judge them. No, it's nothing like that. It's quite the opposite. It's a way of saying, I think I'm better than this person, so I'm going to call out their behavior and point it out to everybody who's listening, anybody who might pay attention, that this person deserves to be judged as a bad person for what they have done here. I might not know all the circumstances behind their actions, their motives, the details about exactly what went on, but from what I see, this person deserves to be judged, and I deem them bad. I deem their decision bad. I deem their behavior harmful. And I'm pointing this out to everybody who will listen. That person made a mistake. Well, as you can tell, I'm not a fan of this type of behavior because so often people just don't know the circumstances behind it. They don't know the details. They don't know the motivation. They don't know the people that they think have been harmed might have come to this person and specifically asked them to do this. You never know. Unless you are working with these people, if you are personally involved, if you're behind the scenes, if you were there when it all went down, well, that's a horse of a different color, of course. But if you're just going to cast aspersions in order to take the focus off of you and onto them, because that's often what the case is. And we might not even ever know what it is that this person is afraid of us finding out about them, or what it is that they're trying to hide, what it is they're hiding behind this armor, what it is that they feel guilty about. We might never find that out. But each and every one of us can look back in our past and say, shoot, I made a big mistake when I did that. I was so stupid. People got hurt. I feel so bad. If I had known better, if I could go back, I wouldn't do things like that now. I would apologize to the people involved. I would tell them, I am so sorry I did this. I really did not mean to hurt you, but I didn't know better. But that takes a lot of emotional maturity, to be honest, to say, yeah, I'm not perfect. Yeah, I made a mistake. I know I hurt people when I did that, and I'm sorry. And I wish I could go back and do it differently. Not that I have all the answers right now. I might still make another big mistake, but I didn't mean to hurt people. And a lot of people just simply can't do that. First of all, it's one thing to do that to the people involved. You know, if you made a mistake and you hurt your spouse or a family member or one of your children, to go back and say, hey, you know, when I did that, I am so sorry. I didn't know better. And I know it hurt you, and I'm sorry. That's one thing. And that takes a level of maturity. But to come out in public and say, like I'm talking to you on the camera right now, or to say in an interview on television or something, or on a podcast, you know, I made a big mistake. I did yada, yada, yada. And that was so stupid, and people were hurt, and I feel so bad. You know, I was an idiot. To say that to people you don't even know. You don't know who's going to be hearing this. That is another level of maturity altogether. So there's a lot of people that simply aren't there yet. And I'm not judging them. I'm not saying they should be there, you know, because we're all at different ages. We're all at different levels of maturity, regardless of our chronological age. So when we get there, we get there. And hopefully someday we will get there. And that's one thing. But to come right out when nobody asked you, and to offer your opinion, and to say, this person shouldn't have done that, they're a horrible person, shame on them. When nobody asked your opinion to begin with, and you don't really know all the details about that circumstance, that's another level entirety. And that's what I'm talking about when I say the words armoring. We're trying to protect ourselves from being judged by people we don't even know, people that we really shouldn't care what their opinion might be of us one way or another. But for some reason, it gets under our skin. And the only reason it would is because we feel guilty. We feel like we are not perfect. Well, of course we're not. We're humans. Nobody is. So if nobody asks you, and you don't have to offer your opinion, and nobody's looking at you and knows your past and is judging you for it, there's really no reason to put yourself out there and say, that person should go to hell, they're bad, look at what they did, that's shameful, they're abusive. If you don't know the exact circumstances because you weren't involved and nobody asked you to begin with, that's the perfect example of armoring. So if you see someone doing that, don't call them out on it, because that'll just cause a problem. They obviously are not at that level of maturity where they're ready to face those demons. But just be aware that that's what it is. So if you ever catch yourself doing that, you can say, oh, shit. I'm armoring. I'm judging someone and pointing out their misdeeds as I perceive them, which may or may not be accurate, and nobody even asked my opinion to begin with. Why am I doing this? Why am I offering my opinion to put them down? Well, obviously it's to make myself feel better for one reason or another, to throw shade over there so people don't look at me and think that I did something bad. And it's to make myself feel better because I'm saying, look at what they did, isn't that bad? I would never have done such a thing. So you can see that your behavior kind of says to the rest of the world, I'm an immature ass. I like to judge others, and I like to throw stones. And it's basically because I have some guilt, blame, and shame buried in my past. you're letting everybody see your cards, but you don't even realize it. So just be aware of that. So if you see it, you can acknowledge it to yourself, not to anybody else, just to yourself, and say, that's what she was talking about. That's armoring. And then if you find yourself in a situation, and this will usually happen if you're with family members or people who raised you, who have been responsible for teaching you right from wrong, and you feel a need to show them that it took. I learned, I know that's wrong, and I would never do that. So you kind of point it out, oh, look at what they're wearing. They look terrible, don't they? Look at that. They're letting way too much show. Look at what they're doing. And then catch yourself. Oh, shit. Nobody asked my opinion. I'm just pointing out something else that somebody else did, and I'm judging them. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut. And you don't have to share that with anyone, that I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done that. You don't have to. Just acknowledge it to yourself. Say, yeah, I shouldn't have. Wow, okay. And then pat yourself on the back because you learned something and you've matured. And now, hopefully, the next time you're tempted to do something like that, you will catch yourself before you open your mouth. And now you have grown. So we all grow, hopefully, as we go through life. We all mature, hopefully, and we all learn a little something every day. At least that's the goal, to make our lives better, to make those around us have a better life as well. Anyway, I hope this helps you on your path. Thank you very much for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your time.